I hoped I hadn't lost my edge, along with everything else. It was time to choose, a nasty fall or a bullet to the head. That was the boss lady, only this time she wasn't calling for more liquor in her cocktail. She was out on one of the balconies, and I hoped, not about to be thrown off it. It might have been stupidity or drunkenness, or maybe both. But before I knew it, I was back taking insane risks, trying to save fallen women. I imagined the elevator doors opening to a firing squad of muzzles. As far as I could see it, the one thing my plan had going.
Bronco! What have you done with him?
I had to keep moving. I didn't want to fuck this up more than I already had. It looked like they were taking him out through the basement. Maybe I still had a shot. Rodrigo was too rich a prize for them to throw away. Sure, I'd have to work hard to get him back, but I knew the bad guys would want the boss alive almost as much as I did. The control box was on the wall to the left of the gate. Bronco was out the door, all bets were off. I had to keep moving.
It's gonna be all right, Mr. Bronco! Mr. Bronco!
Rodrigo was in the van. Maybe it was time to let him out.
Vai se fuder, seu filho da puta! Graças a Deus. Escolha esse coisa fraca, tá fraca.
Back home, it was time for some R&R, the only way I knew how. And with that, I guess I was ready for bed. A couple of days later, it was back to work. Ferrying the boss's broad and his dipshit of a brother out for the night so they could recover from their brush with mortality. Then again, what did I expect? These were the kind of people who went to nightclubs in helicopters. Fabiana had brought her sister along, presumably so she could show off just how rich and empty her life was. And boy, was she about to learn the meaning of rich and empty. But that was no surprise. It's hard to keep your eye on the ball through the bottom of a glass. I just hoped I could get to Fabiana and Giovanna in time. I knew if I didn't get to the girls soon, they'd be leaving this place with either a price on their heads or a tag on their toes. This was useless. I'd been drinking since breakfast, and I'd only gotten up at lunchtime. I had about as much chance of finding them as I did of waking up tomorrow full of the joys of spring. Seen it coming, but that was no surprise. It's hard to keep your eye on the ball through the bottom of a glass. I just hoped I could get to Fabiana and Giovanna in time. The doors had been chained. Another way out through the VIP lounge. Rich fools love a private exit. If I was gonna lose the boss's wife and sister-in-law, I might as well do it medicated. Poor bastard's name was Claudio. I found out later he was a pretty big shot soccer player for the Galatians. Some nearly superstar just back from Europe. The usual. Scored goals, scored girls. The only box he'd be getting into now was the one he'd be leaving in. Son of a bitch. was unfinished business, and all I could think about was my unfinished scotch. Happy, healthy ex-cop? Give me a break. Whatever the hell they were arguing about, it was time for me to add my 2 cents. They were still alive, at least. This crew was starting to look a lot like friends of the gatecrashers at last week's party.
Senta a bala, seu porra! Senta a bala! Eu vou te capar! Vai, atira nele! Vai!
This wasn't the time to be second-guessing myself. I had to hurry or I'd lose them.
Entra, caralho!
Cala a boca, sua vadia!
Está ali! Cala a boca, sua puta!
They were headed for the helicopter pad. I had to get to the roof before Giovanna and Fabiana left on a one-way flight. I knew this was going to be a bad idea, but in the continued absence of any good ones, I decided to go with it. What a view. I guess my time in Sao Paulo wasn't quite the paid holiday in the sun I'd been promised. At least I was getting shot at by a better class of psychopath. These guys weren't messing around. This place was like Baghdad with G-strings. A couple of more seconds and I'd have given some poor street cleaner a crappy start to his day. Now, I had a ride to catch.
Try standing there for 5 minutes.